Hi everyone, good evening and welcome. We're just waiting for our guest to join and we'll wait for maybe 5 more minutes and then we'll be underway with our session. Thanks a lot for joining. Just enjoy the music until then.
Okay. Hi. Can you guys hear me? Been
Yes,
a,
ma'am, we can hear you. Good
been a
evening,
long way
Christine.
to join this. Good evening. So nice to meet all of you. I was really trying to join the call. I hope you guys have more time. I know we are like 20 minutes late.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, everyone was so excited that a lot of people joined at the same moment. So there was some technical glitches.
No worries.
Yes. Um, Aditya, you can take the stage to
Yeah. So sorry about that, everyone, and thanks a lot for joining, ma'am. We did actually we got a lot of students who are interested to join the session. That's why we, in fact, reached the meeting limit just a while back. So we will get started. I will pin your video and my video so that everyone is
Please
able to
call me
see.
Rakshita, and I'm not a ma'am. So please call me Rakshita. Okay. Nice to meet you and see you again, Aditya. Yeah, we can start.
Yeah. Same here, ma'am. Same here. So I'll just quickly brief everyone as to how this meeting will progress. So first, we'll have a brief about Rakshita, ma'am, in this slide. We have with us today Rakshita, ma'am, Rakshita Chittora. She has been a product marketing manager with 7 years of experience at Google and YouTube. She has a passion for translating complex challenges into impactful solutions with a proven ability to collaborate cross functionality, manage large media campaigns with a budget of more than 10 million US dollars, and deliver data driven results. She has received more than 85 awards internally from for leadership and peers. She specializes in creator monetization, product launches, go to market, managing global exec visits to the market with strong PR, social plan, business marketing, policy marketing, and partner marketing. Also, we have me, the host, and we have the co-host as well. So I am Aditya Rao. I won't spend too much time on my slide because, of course, Rakshita ma'am is the spotlight today. So I am Aditya. I'm from Electronic Systems. I'm a third year undergraduate here at ITM. So I recently founded a robotics startup at our incubator, Nirman, at IIT Madras. And I'm also the founder and organizer of the Robo Soccer event, which all of you know and love. And we'll be organizing the fifth edition in June this year. So giving a background story to all of this, this happens to be, I mean, I was at a 6 month Google Gemini internship, and last month in December 2025, I was in the top 10 of the finalists in the Google's national level competition called Fund My Crazy. And I won 7 lakh rupees in the second tier in that competition. And that's where I met Rakshita ma'am. And she has been really crucial to mentor all the top 10 finalists. Really grateful for her for accepting this invitation, my invitation, so that she comes here. And even during the offline edition of Paradox in June 2026. After that, I would like to introduce our co-host, Twisha. If you could introduce yourself, that would be really great.
Thank you so much, Aditya. Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. Good evening, ma'am. With that, on behalf of Tech Society, I, Twisha Shriyam, the Deputy Secretary, and your host and host for the evening, warmly welcome you to the Tech Talk session series with Paradox Technicals. Since Tech Society is the intersection for everything that happens, all the technical things that happen in the IIT degree. I personally work at the intersection of AI, Web3, as well as research. So I can understand why everyone is so enthusiastic to join the meeting. A lot of you were sending me requests on WhatsApp and email that what is the next big thing that you guys are coming up with. So this is one of it. As the motto of Aditya is make it happen. The motto of Tech Society is less intimidating and more of building. We truly believe in the long-term vision of Tech Society of IIT and BS. We have a diverse community in the BS degree. The Viksit Bharat 2047 is something that we are looking forward to as a generation. It gives me immense pleasure, and I'm very humbled to have Rakshita ma'am with us because Aditya won the Gemini program, and I was also one of the people who submitted the project in the Gemini program, and I was following up with all the people that were going to come. So I have been following up with you, ma'am, as well. So I understand how humbling this situation is for me to have a session with you. After Gadget Expo's successful completion, many of you were talking about that we have built things and we have presented, but what about the positioning and the scalability in the real world? This is your chance. You have Rakshita ma'am with us. She is someone that brings over a decade of experience as a product manager at Google and YouTube, someone who understands beyond portfolios like GitHubs and everything that you guys as person do as techies and as nerds. Thank you so much. And the stage is yours, ma'am. We are very, very eager to listen from you, have your insights. Q&A is also open for you. You can have the questions. We will take the questions when you will raise the hands. But for now, we will go with the session. Aditya, over to you.
Thanks a lot, Visha. So, as she said, ma'am, we once again welcome you to this session at IIT Madras. We're really fortunate to have you since you're such an accomplished person. And also, I would like to take this moment to officially announce the Gadget Expo winners of this year, the technical department led event. So, all of these members, the best part is all of these members are from the Tech Society of IIT MBS. And in the first place, we have IIT his project was Tara, that is terrain mapping and analysis. In second, we have Sarvanan K. His project was space debris prediction. And in third place, we have Pradosh, and his project was BB84 simulation. Now, this entire event called Gadget Expo was an initiative of the open source hardware and software initiative group of IIT Madras. And initially, we proposed this to be a society of ITM, but after that, after the discussion with the professors and everyone, it in fact turned into something that's even bigger. It turned into a whole initiative and a whole movement. And that in association with IITM Paradox, the the annual techno-cultural festival, which happens part online and then offline in June 2026, that's where we conduct this Gadget Expo event. Okay, moving on. Since you guys were curious as to what the Google Gemini competition was, it was actually an idea pitching competition where one of our mentors was Rakshita ma'am. So I initially proposed an idea of having campus delivery robots deliver, food and other stuff from the cafeterias all the way to all hostel rooms. Apart from that, I also proposed an idea that encounters the problem of monkeys, a solution for the problem of monkeys, because all of you guys who who are there on campus and who visit the campus, you all have been at least once a victim of these monkeys when they snatch out a snack or a food item from your hand. So that was the idea, but a bigger part of it was having these campus delivery robots. Getting mentored by someone as accomplished as Rakshita ma'am, being here is what the entire topic of today's interaction is about. So, Rakshita ma'am, the stage is yours. Over to you. We would like to hear a lot from you and learn a lot from this session.
Yeah, no, thank you so much, Twisha. Thank you so much, Aditya, for such a lovely introduction. First of all, a big thank you for having me here. I'm privileged and honored. I could never get into IIT Madras or any of the IITs, I think. And also, I think you guys positioned me as someone who knows it all. I am still learning. I don't know it all. I will share whatever I have learned with my experience. So pardon me in case if something does not resonate with you. You are welcome to, share your opinions and also like help me learn from your experience. I just wanted to say that before we get into it. But yeah, very, very humbled and very such lovely introduction and loving all the energy here on this call today. I just thought like I'll give a broad overview, right, before we get into the Q&As and just structure my thoughts a bit so that we can have a more fruitful session. Everything that I share today is my work and not certainly my employers. It's something that I have learned. And yeah, we can get into it. So I think when we were also discussing, Aditya reached out and I said, I don't know what value addition I do to the group. You guys are so smart. And I am definitely not good in coding. I have done it in the past, but like I've lost touch. It's not something that I do in my day job. But he spoke about like maybe like you guys have such amazing ideas, but it's all come down to the fact that how wonderfully you pitch your idea, how wonderfully you craft your positioning, how you tell what are you solving for. So, and also your own digital brand, right? I'm sure you guys are studying right now, but as you go out in the world, a lot changes. So I'll keep it brief, the slides, and then I would like to spend more time on Q&A. Just a little bit more about me so that you guys know my journey, right? Like I started in Udaipur, born and brought up in beautiful city of lakes. I think there was a question on tier 3. Yes, I studied from a tier 3 college in CTA called Udaipur. And I did in information technology. So I did do some coding like you guys, and I was really passionate about it. Then I went to pursue my MBA from SP Gen Mumbai, where I studied marketing and analytics. And then from there on, I got a campus placement at Google. And over the last almost 7 years, I've spent my time at Google cracking some tough problems. And I have also done 3 roles. I'm in my 3rd role right now. I've done business marketing, that's ads marketing. I've done brand and reputation, and now I'm on YouTube. So a lot of creator work that I do in my current day job. Just quickly going into the personal brand architecture, it's very simple, right? Like, and I do see some of the questions that were shared. It all starts from authenticity. Don't just like share something which is like, okay, don't just share like a link or okay, this is something interesting, but you need to also personalize it. What does it mean for you? Or, or like, how does this something resonate with you? So be authentic. Whenever it could be like authenticity is also how what you build your brand at the campus, right? I'm sure with your faculty, with your fellow peers, because I'm sure you guys, as you grow up, will be colleagues in corporates, right? It does not, the relationship between your friends does not end here. And then the second is like what value addition you can do, any topic or anything that you are passionate about. And it should not be about, so building your digital brand is, it's my personal philosophy. It's never about visibility. It's about um, it's about the value that you are adding to the ecosystem. It could be like to your college. It could be a larger good that you are bringing to the community, right? I'm sure IIT is so famous on solving some really hard challenges. And I think Twisha talked about the Viksit Bharat 2047. I'm sure a lot of ideas will come from this group. So you are really adding value in the tech space, in the electronic space, and much more. And also it's about consistency, right? Like what are your pillars that you stand for, and then how you keep owning that is something what I would emphasize when we talk about building your own digital brand. Here is just an example. I'm taking LinkedIn as example because it's something that I did see in other questions that you guys had, right? I'm a marketer. I am a product marketer, so I need to know the product as well. new features that are coming in the market. So here is one such experience that I shared on my LinkedIn, and it had a lot of good reach. And also, like I think the value addition that I share, and I'll just take you through the example. I actually never stepped out of my home state until I was 19. My first trip was to Orissa for a debate competition. And then fast forward to my 30s right now, I definitely like love traveling and also exploring unexplored places, offbeat places. So we figured out this product from Atlas, which helps you in the visa process, which helps you in the faster visa process and they fill the visa on your behalf. But what was good about Atlas was once you're done with the visa, they give you an option to join their WhatsApp community. So you get a chance to be in the same WhatsApp group with 700 plus travelers who are visiting the same country at the same time. And it was such an amazing community that really helped us, gave us real advice, gave us tips, shared contacts of drivers, shared contacts of particular experience that we could get. And also it led to some cost savings for us, right? So I'm talking about the value addition that Atlas did too for us, right? Which was basically we did book a package online, but then we figured from this community that there was a certain ride which was possible at a certain discount. And also, like the last ending point, right? If you see, my community on LinkedIn is largely marketers who all take a lot of pride in building community. So it was just a takeaway that I wanted to share that community is not often about just having people together, but it's about um, what value addition you can do. And of course, you can see like a lot of reposts happen. The CEO of Atlas shared this. And also like Make My Trips CPO, like Chief Product Officer, was also marked in one of the comments. So this is just one example. Nowhere I'm trying to, showcase like, okay, I've done this and I'm great, but this just happened and you'll see a lot of my LinkedIn posts doesn't have that reach. So I'm still learning, as I said. But something that worked out for me, and I thought like I'll share an example with you folks in case this resonates as you build your own digital brand. LinkedIn is definitely a place which I would highly, suggest that you folks should invest your time, build your brand on this platform because that's where professionals are. And of course, like there are other platforms as well. There's YouTube, there's Instagram. You can use as many mediums as you like. I think what formula that works on LinkedIn, it should be 80% thought leadership and 20% about your personal achievements. What happens more often than not is like, hey, I've won this, I got promoted. That should not be the how you should be sharing on LinkedIn. I think you should share your achievements. It's good, but you also like the 80% of the time ensure that you are actually talking or sharing some, as I talked about, the value that you are adding to the larger ecosystem. It could be one of the thought piece, it could be one of your articles that you have gone deep into, it could be one of your research paper, which Trisha was talking about. Yeah, I think I spoke about this, right? It could be, so in a nutshell, share and document your learnings, use it to have a strategic network, not just LinkedIn, but I think in general as well. All the competitions that you get exposure, I never got it when I was in engineering. So I would say like use those opportunities, put yourself out there. It's uncomfortable, to be honest. It has taken me a long time to speak with like 100 people on a meet call. So you build your skills and things take time, but actually it will only happen when you try. I'm sure a lot of people give you this gyan, but it really is true, right? And then share your wins, as I talked about, because then you get noticed. Hackathons, internships, club activities that you're doing. But I think if I were you, if it's about sharing my wins, I will also personalize it. One thing about building your brand, and I've been reflecting a lot about it, not about, um, like I'll just share like a AI bot. This happened, this happened, this happened. if you are investing in building your own brand, building your product, you have to personalize it. It's not a choice. Like you can't be just like data dump, but you have to ensure that what real human problems things solve or what it has done for you, uh, and so on and so forth. And the 80-20 content rule that I just talked about, right? 80% educational, helpful content, someone coming to, for example, Aditya's page should not just be like, oh, it feels like it's only about his achievements, but is it more about, am I learning something from here? So that's important. Now I'll just move to, the art of the startup pitch. Again, a disclaimer. I think it's something that I have practiced, and it works for me. I'm sure you guys have better ideas to crack this. But here's a very simple framework in case you want to follow. Um, and the words sound very familiar, right? Like, what's the problem? But sometimes what happens when I meet students, they're like, Rakshita, this is solving for waste management at the campus, but this also solves for one more thing. And then this also solves for, the facilities team and stuff like that. But I mean, the problem statement should be one core issue that you are trying to solve. You need to narrow down on what is your uniqueness in that problem statement that you're solving, and your solution, right? How does it work? Is it a product, a service, or an algorithm? Simplify the explanation. And when I say simplify, you might, if like you explain me your robot idea and I'll be like, I don't understand any of the jargons that you shared. And imagine like I'm the person who is probably investing or on other side, right? If you can just tell me simple human terms on what is your solution, I think it helps. And then the impact, right? Impact needs to be quantified. I'm guessing you guys are all data driven, great engineers. So you need to, if you can say that, hey, we are making something which will make 500 million users in India feel better or solve for their core need, I think then you have actually won, is how I would say. Sometimes what happens is problem is there's a great idea. So, and a lot of ideas, right? Today, with the emergence of AI, I think there are more ideas now. So it's all about like, how can you streamline that thought from simple problem solution and impact? I talked about this, right? It can't be as vague as, we are solving for this, but you need to probably say that student waste 40 minutes daily in mess lines due to inefficient queuing. If your idea is like something around solving for your mess food facilities. This is one such example, and happy to like hear your thoughts if you have like, if you're building something which we can make it more specific. Add numbers and data. I think I talked about this. Is it about the cost reduction that you're talking about? How many students? What's the scale? What are you impacting, right? Is something very important. And then the core is basically anyone can talk for like 1 hour, but the art of the possible is like those 5 minutes. If you're able to explain it to someone in a simple one line, or at best like a 2 minute or a 5 minute conversation. 5 minutes is great, but most of the times when as you grow, you'll realize things happen in an elevator where you are probably you happen to be in the same elevator as your CEO or any of your professor for that matter, who you rarely get a chance to speak to. So how can you convince them in that, and how can you get their interest? And it also like builds, you will have to practice it. It's not something that will happen and be like, okay, Rakshita said 5 minutes, I can't do this in 5 minutes. Such an elaborate, and I have spent like nights and days building this product, building this code. How can I explain it in 5 minutes? But I'm sure you can in a simple manner. Okay, just a further breakdown, right? Like I think I spoke about it, problem, solution, impact, and also execution, right? Why can you do it? What's needed to build it? Don't leave an idea. Like you can make like, oh, I'll solve global warming. and this will save planet Earth. But like how and what will it take for you to do it? What is the roadmap for the next 3 months, for the next 6 months, and for a year? I think that's important to outline. And what research have you done, and how strongly you feel about your idea has to come through it, right? And then, of course, have a memorable ending and a clear ask that this is what I need. Don't leave the end listener hanging. They'll be like, oh, Twisha gave me such a great idea, but I had no idea what next she needs from me, right? So lead with a clear ask at the end whenever you are planning your product ideas, be it with your professors. You should always be like, hey, this is my idea, this is what I'm doing right now. Can you help me with this? Or do you think there is a particular mentor who can unlock this for me? Um, I think the why and execution, like a lot of times what happens is also there are great ideas, but no one wants to implement them right now. So how can you drive that urgency as well, so that someone will take you seriously and be like, okay, let's this sounds meaningful and this needs attention. What happens at times, people listen and people will be like, okay, we'll discuss this, but how can you showcase urgency, not in terms of the urgency of the work that you need to do, but like the urgency of the problem statement that you're trying to solve. I think I'll leave you with three things. I don't know if I'll get a chance to meet you guys again, but like while work, building your brand happens, I think as you grow and go out in the world, I think health and hobby is very important. If while you put in the late night tours, you must do it. Study hard, but also like ensure that you are focusing on your health and also have a hobby. You build your hobby over a period of time. You need to enjoy your work. I think second core uh, principle and philosophy, I feel whatever you do, is it about solving or writing that long code? You need to feel happy and you need to find your joy in it. And the third one is hard work. I think there are failures, and I'm sure people would have given you a lot of gyan on like failures are not like the end and stuff. I won't beat a lot about that. But I think you will always get reward for your hard work. It might not come through in like for 2 years. It might not come through in the 3 years. I was heartbroken for not getting into an IIT when I was probably appearing for JEE. But it happened, right? Like I figured my way out in the world. So I'm sure all of you guys are brilliant, brilliant students, and I'm sure you will also shine. I think one step you are taking already is by joining these conversations, learning from others. That's also something that I have done. Um, Basically, like when it came to me, like when I was in MBA and a lot of marketing ideas are when you see certain things. My exposure of being in a smaller city did restrict me in my first few years, right? I probably didn't see so many mall activations, didn't see so many, billboards as much as, I'm sure the Delhi and the Bombay folks see it. So yeah, I think you just need to keep learning and keep putting yourself out there, and also like not while it's not about like just don't learn and try to do everything. I think figure out, put down, write down. I think writing still makes a lot of difference on what's your plan. And if something does not work, give yourself 2 weeks. I'm gonna spend my time on this, and then if it doesn't work, like let's move on. But yeah, this was from me, and I'll just take a pause, Aditya, and then we can get into the questions. um, I think the last point, which I felt like building your brand is also it happens over a period of time. So you need to be consistent, be it about your own product. I think as marketers, we always a brand is not get built in a year. For example, the biggest brands, be it Nike, Just Do It, or Red Bull, which says Red Bull gives you wings. I'm talking about in marketing language. The positioning of it took years. So those are great case studies if you want to read as you really go deep into building long-term brands. Yeah, I'll pause and I'm open for questions. We can go through the questions that you sent me, Aditya, if that's better. or how do you want to do this?
Yeah, definitely. We'll take a few questions that we did classify out into one separate a list of questions, list of good questions. So I'll first do three questions and then I'll hand it over to Trisha for her three questions. And then we'll go through the list. If you want, you could take a look at the questions and answer the ones that you feel are the most well positioned for this session. And or else we could take a few that, we get from the audience. But yeah, that was a really insightful presentation, ma'am. And I'm pretty sure that all of the guys that are here, guys and girls, really found it really interesting because I'm pretty sure that most of you in this session are planning to do something for the coming fest in June 2026. So I'm pretty sure that most of them will take your advice pretty seriously and do something really great for the entire ITM student community. So that was really awesome. So yeah, I guess it's time that we move to the questions. So once again, I would like to brief all the people in this session. So prior to the session, a couple of weeks before this session, we did send out a form in the student groups saying that we will be organizing this session with Rakshita ma'am from Google. So Rakshita ma'am, since you mentioned that the target audience is going to be different every single time when we interact with them, right? They may or may not be from the technical background. So I'll take my example. So for the same robotics and chip design startup of mine, how would you recommend that I change the pitch when speaking to a deeply technical audience versus a completely non-technical one, without actually diluting the core idea and principle behind my idea? I ask this because the decision makers who actually sign checks are usually not technical. So that was, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think great question, Aditya. So, as I talked about, like, what is the scale of the problem that you are solving? I'm sure your idea is rooted into some deep work, deep research. So, the problem statement should primarily remain the same. But I would say when you come down to the solution, for a non-techie guy, I would say yes. It's about like you need to tell them what does your app do, or what does your robot do, right? Like as you said, right, your robo actually helps in food delivery from one place to another. But the question I'll ask you is like, Aditya, I think people, students need to walk. Why are you simplifying their life by building this robot, right? So you need to give me some more detail that, ma'am, the kilometers are more, there is manpower being wasted, the delivery boys are like, there is a little bit of an expense. So I, I will ask you those questions, but I think the professor might ask you, or someone who is in the tech background might just ask you, it's great, but can we move away from the college setup? How does it solve for what's the speed at which the robot actually comes from one place to another? That might spark curiosity. So you need to really know your audience, and something which we also do at work, right? Sometimes I think Twisha talked about, she is in the cross-functional space of AI research, and there are some other work she's doing. So you always have to um, customize based on our audience, and you need to know what are they most interested. So for non-techie audience, simple problem statement: what is the large-scale impact it can do? Is it solving a very common problem which requires years of work and you have figured a solve? But for a technical guy, it might be just like, hey, I'm curious. Can you tell me more in terms of like features about it? But I would always start from like, there is a pyramid structure. What happens is people always go like, tell you everything and then they come to the point. I would always start from, this is my product, this is what it does. Now I'm open for your detailed question versus I'll anyways lose you in the first 5 minutes if you don't tell me what are you doing, be it for tech or a non-tech audience. Yes. We can go for next question. Alida, tell me how much time we have. I'll keep my answers short.
Yeah, no worries about that. We have time until 6:30 p.m.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, and also
Go.
since
Yeah.
you talked about the background of the judges, I guess background of the people who are usually giving out the funding and all that stuff. So I guess mostly the questions from the people who are in the technical domain will be like about what type of motors you're using, and people in non-tech, as you mentioned, it would be what is the entire purpose. Like, what is the purpose of this project, right? So yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me now. Also, what are the practical cues that marketers use to understand an audience before pitching deep tech products? And how do you think does that shape the technical depth and storytelling of the entire pitch from a marketing perspective?
Yeah, I think that's definitely a good question. So as marketing, we definitely do. We need to have a product understanding, but where we go really deep is understanding the user. Am I solving a core tension for the user, or am I suggesting an opportunity for the user? Right? When you are solving probably for long wait time in the mess is a problem that you're solving. But tomorrow you can also come up with an opportunity where you are saying that I will build driverless cars, Rakshita, which will help someone who does not know how to drive. So that's an opportunity because that's not my tension. Still, it is a tension. Like, I mean, if I can think of an example, but it's basically understanding, are you solving a core tension or are you suggesting there is an opportunity for a user? That's what the job starts for a marketer. And how do we do that is definitely by a lot of secondary research. And then we also love meeting our end user through focus group discussion, going with help of a research agency, going deep into like what are their current behaviors and if my product will help shift that. So I think that's primarily how a marketer would approach a product and then build a GTM strategy. And I think you've touched upon the storytelling, which is very, very important. What like you can't just do a data dump. I think now with AI, I think the data and the concepts are all being taken care of. It depends on the humans who can really tell that emotional story, or it is like what, as I talked about, is it the potential or is it the opportunity that you have for the user, or how you're making their life better.
Yeah,
So yeah.
that totally makes. I mean, it gives a new perspective into how we look at things because it is time that we go to the next question because
Yeah, we
we
can
have
do
Fish
a
as well.
rapid fire.
Yeah,
And
exactly. So yeah, in marketing, audiences often demand authenticity, but they end up expecting consistency from, let's say, companies. But these two pull in opposite directions very often. So how do we decide what we should actually prioritize, and what are the signals that tell us that we have made the right choice between the two?
so you mean authenticity and consistency? Is it about repeat, like you are targeting them again and again with the same message, or
Yeah, it could. I mean, it depends on whether a company. Let's say I just take an example. Let's say a company is manufacturing a set of products. I'll take an example of Tata Motors. So they manufacture cars. So people expect them to manufacture a different variety of cars from low cost ones to high cost ones. But at the end of the day, they expect the quality to be equal in all of their products. So that's why they release variants. So if at an early stage, so what should we target? Should we focus on consistency, or should we focus on getting a variety of products out there at the beginning?
yeah, yeah. I mean that's a great question, and I think the context changes from if it's a mid-sized company, if it's a small-sized company, if it is a techie who is building multiple apps. But I would always, I think, go back to the core principle. You need to define your brand. You need to define what your product stands for. First, you need to be profitable. I'm sure. I think in this question, a lot of things come. If you're not, if you don't have enough money, I don't think you can go and build multiple products. You need to define your brand. What does X stand for? Is it for sustainability? Is it for um, fast speed? Is it about the great quality? So once you define your brand, you have to stick for it, because if what happens with brands is if they keep throwing products out in the market without a consistency in their brand value, then I don't think customers usually stick to them. So if I had to explain, I would go always brand first because you're asking this to a marketer. So it's always the
Makes
brand.
sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, makes sense. Reputation building is always important. I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, so Trisha, I believe it's time for your questions. And after that, if time permits, you can also do a rapid fire round as you had planned. So yeah, Trisha, over to you, please.
Thank you so much, Aditya. I was listening to you, ma'am. So many insights. I had to write it down as well. Okay, my questions would be around your domain, your expertise, and our domain and our expertise. Since Aditya went through very technical questions, I will go with some questions that are like, how do you see the 5 year down the line, the creator economy? Because our title was that how you want to, make likes into legacy. So how this creator economy will, in your
Sorry, is
perspective?
it my internet or I can't hear Trisha?
Am I audible?
Yeah. If I if
Yeah,
I
yeah.
if I got half of the question, I think you are asking how do I see creator economy in the next 5 years? Is that your question?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you trying to connect it with student community here, or in general, I should share my response?
Both works. If you can
I
go with
mean, creators are truly defining the way we consume data, the way we consume products, the way our opinions are being shaped. I think the core insight goes back to what trend we are seeing in the industry. People are no longer attracted by um, ads, but they really want to hear from word of mouth from someone else, someone's experience, and that authentic voice a creator brings. And that's why I think a lot of brands tap into creator community. For example, there is a particular creator who is in, say, beauty or fashion, or is in finance, or is in tech. You will hear to that tech creator way more than someone or an something that you read up in a newspaper or at any other medium. I think creator economy has truly grown. So I think it's a peak that we are seeing right now in creator economy, and I think it will continue to keep growing because that's so much potential. Creators are today new startups. They are new studio. They are themselves a studio. They are creating shows. They are doing a lot of innovation, which I think will shape multiple industries, not just but I think many others. And I think, yeah, there's a lot of support that we see from the whole ecosystem, not just from the companies, tech companies, but I think the government as well. So I would see, I'm really optimistic the way creator economy is evolving, and I feel it will keep growing. I think from a trend perspective, I think AI is the buzzword, but the people who will stay ahead on the race of AI is how they actually leverage it for their increased productivity. I think Aditya asked me releasing multiple products, but I'm guessing you guys think of multiple ideas at every time. So AI can enable that, and AI is enabling that for many creators as well. So if you use it the right way, it will be a great. So that's pretty much, I would say, on the creator side.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Because this question came up from like people are discussing 2026 is the next 2016, and everything has to now getting a new thing, a new edge for the creator economy. Things are getting so. That's where my question came from. Thank you so much for the insight. My next question is definitely with the creativity side. That is this whole Google's ecosystem as well. Because I'm also working as a ELP researcher. I see this that whole thing is around metrics, statistics, and basically data. So how do you deal with the creativity burnout that happens time to time, like as a person, as a, how do you deal with that?
Yeah, I mean, creativity burnout, I think your question is twofold, right? One is around the too much overload of data, if I hear you clearly, right? And the second one is how that's not leading to creativity burnout. I go back to the principle that I talked about, right? I think if there is authenticity, if you're building a long-term brand, it all comes down to the core human insights and human needs. Is that does your product give the human a joy? Does it make their life easy? Does it make their life are you helping them save those extra minutes which they can use to spend time with their family or catch a match? I would say that if your ideas and thoughts are rooted in those insights, then I don't think creativity will burn out at any point. I think creativity is just increasing, and we are seeing a lot of creativity now coming via AI as well. I know there is AI slop. That is the buzzword that keeps talking. But I think if you are using AI to help your audience feel entertained, I think creativity will only increase. What I personally feel, and I think that was your first question, research data. It's all about that. When you're in a dance floor, you're just like you're dancing with a lot of the data. But when you go to the balcony or that corner, what is that one insight that you want to take with you, right? I would say you have to look at it that way. You might just found like, oh my, I think Aditya was talking about motors. I don't know much about the motors, but I'm sure like this also works well. If I efficiency is this, and probably this is also happening. But like, what is that motor doing for my larger robot, right? What is that one thing? If you are able to say, okay, if I do this, it will give me 2x the speed than what it was earlier, then I would say you stick with that. But it takes a lot of time for students to come up with that one particular um, data bagged insight. Otherwise, you'll keep immersing yourself in the data and go nowhere. Yeah.
Exactly. That's the thing that I was thinking upon as well. Thank you so much, ma'am. Very
Also,
insightful.
if you don't mind, I just have one thing to ask since you mentioned about AI being used. So these days, I've noticed that multiple creators they're increasingly using their own AI avatars for content creation. So, but I also understand that there is somewhere a risk of someone else pirating someone's avatar. Let's say a popular YouTuber. So is that a good trend that's going on, but in the future, and will it also be handled by Google in some way? People using their own avatars?
I would skip this question if that's okay with you. I'm
Okay,
here
okay.
personal capacity. I can't share how Google is looking at it. So if that's okay, we can skip this question.
Okay, definitely. Yeah, I totally understand. So yeah, Trisha, we can move on with the rapid fire round.
Yeah, okay. One last question before we move to
Okay.
rapid fire. Yeah, so my last question was, ma'am, as you are right now with like a decade of experience you have, but what is that one thing, one advice that you would suggest to your younger self if you'd go back in time and suggest something?
You're making me feel very old, but I'm not. I'm still learning. I think it really one advice I would say, you feel the world is gonna break, and you feel sometimes in your career you're like, okay, I don't know things will work out or not, but you just have to believe in yourself, and you need to uh, plan and almost orchestrate things, but have that determination and have that hard work, and believe in yourself. I think don't. What happens is, I'm sure you all are a brilliant crowd. When you're young, you just end up overthinking and end up pushing yourself down. I would say don't do that to my own self. If I would have believed myself a little bit more, maybe I would have done much more things than what I have done. But no regrets. So yeah, that's pretty much my life philosophy. And the second one is, I think it's a no-brainer. One should learn every and also gain exposure. I think that is something which I now do it intentionally. So if I would tell my 20-year-old self, I would just say to her that maybe go out there more, do get exposed yourself. Don't hesitate to step into uncomfortable situations where you just say that probably I won't understand this, how robots are being made because I'm an IT engineer. I would have just pushed myself to get more exposure and done many more projects. And I would have said like, can I shadow you? Can I do a 20% with you? Can I just be like, be a student with you in this process? So I would just do that. Yeah.
Truly, because yes, definitely, I feel that negative self-talk and self-sabotaging oneself is something which is very vivid when you are 18 year or 19 year or 20 year. So yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. I am done with my questions. We will move forward with the rapid fire round. If Aditya, can I?
Yeah, so I would ask you to explain how this round works to the guests so that it's pretty clear how it works.
Okay. All right. So, ma'am, I will ask you a few questions that will like you have to answer in 10 to 15 seconds. It will be like objective questions, not subjective.
Okay. Objective questions. Okay. Got it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. My first question is authenticity or creativity? What would you choose?
Authenticity.
Okay. Definitely. Second, my question will be storytelling or data metrics?
Storytelling. 100%.
Okay, no, now all the data science crowd is like, oh my God, we have to work on storytelling thing.
I think the data scientists are the best storytellers.
Yes,
You guys can have help save multi-million dollars for the company, but you just need to tell the story well to someone who would take your data. Yeah.
thank you so much, ma'am. My second question, third question would be product or marketing?
Marketing.
Okay, since you have worked,
Product also. I would say both. I definitely would say both.
okay, because you have worked in the intersection of this, so this was the question that I thought I should ask you. Okay, this is a very silly question, but okay. Books or podcasts? What is your good to go
Right
thing?
now, podcast. Few years ago, it was books, but now a lot of podcasts because it gives me time to be in the gym and still listen to a podcast.
Oh, that's nice. Such a good habit we have to learn. I mean, the crowd has to learn this. We
Yeah.
listen to folk music a lot. Any suggestion in podcast that you want to give, if so, or
I'm
yes?
a big fan of Nikhil Kamat's podcast, and I think it's very. I get to learn a lot, and I think it's an area of interest because I see a lot of his topics are about startup founders, and if a young student has to start or build something, so he gets a lot of those kind of crowd. And but I think there are a lot of amazing podcasters out there. There's Think School, there's Rashomani. I think there are plenty of them. But my particular favorite one is Nikita. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, since in Google, I do believe there are like long shifts always. So, what's your thing? Like, are you a coffee person or are you a chai person?
Uh, Actually, I love tea, but I do a combination. So it starts with a morning tea, and in the day I have black coffee.
Okay, that's nice. Um, okay. Very last question would be, what is that one Google tool that you can't live without?
Right now it's Gemini.
Okay, okay. I mean, Aditya can
And YouTube.
truly believe this. He
And
uses.
so that's like my day job, and then Gemini just enables a lot, but YouTube and Gemini.
Okay, okay. We are done with the rapid fire. Anything that you want to ask Aditya, you can in the rapid fire as well.
I think great questions, but there were also a couple of questions on topics around teamwork, which probably I didn't touch upon this session. People asked about what's the best way to manage egos, what's the best way to. So I just want to give a perspective on that, and if it's okay, Aditya and Prisha, because I
Yes,
felt
ma'am.
like that was.
Yeah, please, please,
I'm sure
definitely.
you guys do a lot of group projects, and I can share from my example. I was in group projects with people who were probably had industry experience and then came for MBA. And right now at the workplace as well, you always have to work with teams. And as you go in a corporate, sometimes you are not a direct manager or a direct, you know, You don't have the power or the authority, but you still have to influence. So in group projects, I think how you can, what works, it goes back to, I think, the value addition. So if you make the other person feel that this is the value that they are adding or bringing to the project, then it just gets easier for them to lean in more. The second thing is also always showing that sense of gratitude and being thankful to one another, and also complimenting one another, because I think you guys are the best cheerleaders for one another. You might not realize it right now, but imagine your startup is something that you want to build in the future. I'm sure you will tap onto your network. So I would say be cheerleaders to one another, compliment one another, but always tell what value the other person is bringing. And if you tell them that, the free riders will come and do more work. And the people who are having ego, I'm sure they will also know that, okay, the person really values what I do. So their ego is also well taken care of. In case that helps, because I saw like some questions on these lines.
Yeah, that's an interesting perspective, actually. And also, I believe we should give the credit to the person who asked that question also, since we promised. So that was a question by Sanjay Sajeev. Also, there is another interesting question that I saw from Shraddha Pandey. So she wants to know that as a student aspiring to build a career in tech and product marketing, she'd like to know what early skills and experiences helped you, Rakshita ma'am, succeed at Google, and what should students like us start developing today to be ready for the industry?
Yeah, I would say like what skills and early experience helped me succeed at Google, right? I think I come from an IT background, so I understood how product was built, or how I understood how the code is being written. And then the marketing education helped me to tell that story and tell the human insight on what we are doing. So a marriage between the two really helped me. And the second thing which I will say to this group is, yes, working smart is one thing, but also like I took up on a lot of projects in my first initial years, went above and beyond onto, because it was all about the exposure and all about the learnings that I could get. I see someone's not happy with my response, but probably that worked for me. I think you should try with what works for you. And when I did take up a lot of things apart from the work that I was doing, it also helped me build my network and my credibility in my workplace. So I would say, like, early on, these were my skills which helped me. And going deep into the data, I would say it's never data is your power. And AI is helping a lot with those data insights. But I think it's again about the prompt that you write. If you are someone who knows how to study and read data and how to visualize data, there are a lot of tools for data visualization as well, which you can learn and crack. I think it will take you a long way. And the third one is just being very aware of the industry, aware of general affairs, aware of the area that you are building your career in is very important. I don't like I used to read a lot of like marketing campaigns that everyone is building right now. So what is your domain of expertise? You should be very ahead of the curve on those fronts. Yeah.
Awesome, ma'am. That was an interesting analogy. Also, we have one question from Aditya Nair. Since, ma'am, you mentioned that you're into product marketing at Google, so he wants to know for beginners who enjoy coding, is it possible to transition into such roles like product marketing at Google, or are these roles completely non-technical?
So I would say, can coders transition into product? Yes, I would say you will be definitely very successful if you are a product manager and you want to take up marketing, because um, sometimes what happens is product managers want marketing to promote every feature out there. But some certain features probably are enhancing the experience, but are probably not the unique aspect of the product. So once you do marketing, you will realize that, hey, what's the larger brand or larger perspective of that product I'm trying to build? So I would say you will be definitely be successful if you switch careers from product into marketing. And your background in product will give you a massive roadmap. Because Aditya, what will happen is, um, for example, in marketing, we also give back a lot of feedback in case the product is not capable to do this. You will be able to think of a lot of innovative ways on how product can do better, build certain features. So yeah, that's pretty much how I would answer your question.
Awesome, ma'am. Awesome. Thanks. Thank you so much. Next, we do have one question from Anwar Sheikh. So he would like to know if one had to start again in 2026 with zero followers, what would the first 30 days look like? I don't know if this question is
That I can
which people
share.
relate. Yeah.
I can talk about in general, not for a
Mhm.
particular format, how it will go about, right? One is you need to understand if you are really serious about building your followership on any platform, you need to understand what is your unique value proposition, what are you solving, is there a gap that you are trying to bridge? For example, are you going to become an expert in someone who analyzes, say, tech features, tech products, or anything, right? But also have a diversity. Like you might not be able to narrow down what is my niche. Figure a domain, and then I'm sure there are multiple branches to it. You'll be like, I also like to do X, I also like to do Y, and Z. It's fine. Start with the diversity, and also before you start your page or start your content journey, you should already have your content calendar for the next 30 days. Because what happens, someone starts and they are like posting on any of the platform, and then they get very disheartened if they don't see the followership going up, they don't see. So there will be a lot of trial and error. You will have to set up experiments. What if I add a picture? What if I, change the headline? Or what if I start with the data insight? Or what if I start with my own personal experience? So I would say, in a nutshell, have a content calendar of at least 30 days. Uh, if you can do it better, shoot. If you're getting into videos, shoot those 10 or 15 pieces of content at least before you go and upload your page. Third one is, I think, the prep work. You need to understand what are you solving, what's the gap, and then experiment. And then last but not the least is like community building. Once you start putting your content out there, you will be like, okay, maybe I'm seeing more traction from the tech industry, or I'm seeing more traction from engineers who do particular this domain. So yeah, you need to go in that way. I hope that answers.
Awesome. I hope that definitely does. Also, we have one question from Prachi Agarwal. So it's about networking. So if there's any person who wants to build a good network, so what would you recommend? What would you suggest? How does one get into building a good network of people?
Yeah, I think it was very tough in the earlier ages. Now, because there is internet and there is so many platforms which give you those opportunities, right? So I would start from there. I think first step is start from your own college. um, Ensure that you exhaust all the people who you think could be a value add, or irrespective. Ensure you are able to chat with them, but it doesn't have to be like one conversation. So for example, if you are say with, I don't know, just give me an example, right? Like if there is a chemistry professor, and if you want to stay in touch and you think the chemistry professor will help you long term, so you need to have like a cadence of like at least once 3 months. I am ensuring that I get to, touch base with this person and have like a productive discussion, which is a value add for both. So I would say like identify the people, identify the platform where you can engage with. Then the third is the consistency part. So platform could be in your college, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on any other place, via events, industry events, via, you guys might be having a lot of those, what do we say? Cross campus uh, fest. So use those opportunity and build your network. And then the second is consistency. Like if you met someone at IIT Bombay and then you just want to keep in touch with that particular person over a period of time, it can't be just when you have another work that you need as an unlock for them, but you should also be like, hey, I thought this might be exciting for you, sharing this just in case if this helps. Versus always going to them, hey, I need this. I'm sure that will not take you won't help you build a long-term network with them.
I agree, ma'am. And on that note, there is also one question from Ritvik. So, product marketing, after all. So, he would like to know what are the best things to study if a person would like to become an expert specifically in product marketing management at Google. So, what are your suggestions on that?
Yeah, I would say like I did analytics, so you need to know data, which I think you guys already know. But apart from that, the core principles of marketing remains the same. So you should go and read this book by Kotler, which will give you everything one needs to know on marketing. You should also study brand building. You should look at how a lot of brands are built. Brands. Study like great case studies by a lot of tech companies who have become really big. They all started as a startup. So I would say like a good marriage between data, tech, marketing principles stays the same. Yes, product marketing needs a little bit of like that data and the tech side of understanding, but I would say like the human insight will always remain the same. Human tensions will remain the same. They are pretty much the universal truth. And then you just go about like, okay, in that universal truth, what am I particularly this particular product solves? So yeah.
Amazing. That is, yeah. Also, we'll wrap it up quickly. We'll take one more question from the people in line in the session. So we have Ashutosh Pathi, who is running a B2B service-based startup. So they help in offline stores, e-commerce brands, and startups by handling their complete tech and digital operations. This includes mobile apps, websites, automation, and all that stuff. So when, as a business, they want to focus on growth instead of managing multiple vendors. So they would like to get your guidance and suggestions on different marketing strategies for their situation.
I mean, okay, that's I would say multiple parts to this question, and happy to do a deep dive later. Uh, it's about like going from client to client or trying to solve from one operation challenge to another. I think the question is Prachi, if I get the name right, right? Aditya? It's from Prachi, I guess. I think the question was on how they should focus on building their marketing strategy. Is that correct? Right?
Yeah, so we got similar questions, one from her and one from Ashutosh also. So yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So I would say, like, of course, you're servicing, I think you are in a service space if you are solving for tech and ops challenge for these multiple startups. So I would say you will need a lot of case studies, right? Like if you can focus on X company and you solve this for them, if you get an approval from them to build like a example testimonials and case studies, that is a big thing for a B2B company that you are building, and you should market that a lot. Then it will help you get good leads. But I also feel in a B2B industry, your servicing has to be bang on. So it has to be like execution can't take a backseat. But you can definitely invest a lot of your time in building a good marketing air cover, then invest time in building automation so that you are not wasting a lot of time in one vendor, another vendor. And then once you have done these two, then I think you will be able to scale. So that would be my one very short answer. I think this needs a more deep dive, but I hope it helps.
Awesome, awesome, ma'am. So yeah, so from the list of questions that we shared with you, would you like to take a few more at your discretion?
Uh, okay. I think we covered most of them.
Mhm.
Um, I think someone did a say about tier three engineering college. I touched upon it, right? It does not matter. For me, I did go for another degree. For you, I think there are a lot of possibilities now. You can start interning, you can reach out to people, you should build your project portfolio strongly so that you get more opportunities. Um, okay, I think we covered mostly a lot of questions. So I think we're good, Aditya. I'm good. Yeah.
Definitely, definitely. So yeah, so thanks a lot, ma'am. For all the questions that we didn't cover, guys, don't worry. We will share a PDF with the answers to everyone via email. Okay, so yeah, no
Yeah.
worries about that. Also, we have officially reached the very end of our session. So I would like to really thank everyone for joining, especially you, Rakshita ma'am, for taking the time out for us, the students at IT Madras. It really means a lot that you were able to come to this session, and mainly, we look forward to hosting you offline at IIT Madras in June 2026. We will definitely coordinate for that. So yeah, thanks a lot, ma'am. Any any words you would like to share to the student community?
No, I think you have been an amazing audience. Thank you. I would just say stay curious, keep your curiosity alive, don't let it die ever, and keep doing all the amazing things that you are pursuing in your life. Just wishing everyone a good luck for their careers and hope to see some of you in person if things work out well. But thank you so much, Aditya and Twisha, and all the amazing questions that everyone asked. And thank you for your engagement on this call. Appreciated. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you
I'll
so
Thank
be
you
much,
so
ma'am.
much.
Thank
yes,
you.
thank you.
Thank you so
Bye bye.
much, ma'am,
Thank you.
for such an practical session.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye
Bye.
bye. Have a nice
Have a
day.
good day
Bye.
ahead, ma'am. Okay, that's a lovely audience. Thank you so much, everyone who joined today. I understand it was fastest finger first. Everyone was trying to get in, but unfortunately, we had a limit for 100 people.
Yeah,
Um,
actually, this limit didn't exist earlier, but I guess there was some technical glitch where the account of the official ITMBS switched over to non-premium from enterprise. But yeah, we'll look into it. And yeah, once again, thanks a lot, everyone, for joining and taking the time out to be a part of this session. I hope that all of the questions that were asked were really beneficial for all of you guys. If your questions weren't answered, don't worry. You can email us at technicals@itmparadox, and we'll make sure that your questions are answered at the earliest.